So the question was, why did I get divorced? And I was not able to use the answer, irreconcilable differences. And that's usually the go-to. So with that being said, we're going to continue to dive a little bit deeper with regards to the relationships and how they impact your security clearance. And I hope to see you at the end where I give you my answer, and it might be the best one for you too. Welcome to my channel. I'm Lisa. Don't worry, I got you. So when I was asked the question, why did you get divorced? I wasn't surprised at all. I'm just kidding. Of course I was. Who would think that they would ask you such a question, why are you divorced? And the first thing that came to my mind, don't I have some rights or something like that? But I remember I took that oath. I swore that I would tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help me God. I did. So when it comes to answering the question, why am I divorced? Let me tell you what you might want to say, the same thing I said. But first we got to talk about why. Your relationships matter to the federal government because they have the ability to influence you to the positive and to the negative. And you might say to yourself, well, I'm grown now. This is not me as a kid at 5 years old or 12 years old or 15 running with the wrong crowd. Well, we kind of do still run with the wrong crowd sometimes, even as adults. So the question that was posed to me is, why did I get divorced? And while I immediately felt somewhat of an offense, I realized that there had some meaning behind the question. The question was posed to me in order to better understand my relationships and what risk factors I have with regards to my relationships. When you're working for the federal government, whether it be in logistics like I am, or working with budgeting and purchasing like I have, or even working in human resources, you have to understand that there are scenarios, which I gave an example of in a prior video, that you could come across someone unknowingly and provide information about yourself or the federal government that's of benefit. And when you're vulnerable, maybe in a divorce scenario, maybe it was a volatile relationship, maybe you've been threatened and now you're moving on, and that individual, that husband or wife, is jealous. You don't know what kind of threats you're susceptible to until it actually happens. And so in order for the federal government to hire people and retain people that have reduced risk, they ask those kind of questions. So they ask them of me, and you'd best be prepared that they may be asking them of you. So here's my answer to that question. Now, here in the United States, with 50% of marriages ending in divorce, it's not unusual that you would be here. Maybe it's something that you've been through once, twice, maybe even 3 or 4 times or more, or maybe it's something that you're facing. But the way that I answered the question, which could not be irreconcilable differences, was to simply say we had religious differences. And I went on to expand that I was building my religious faith and my husband chose not to. So it built a wedge between us, and we chose amicably to go our separate ways. And that was my answer, to which he said, thank you. So with that being said, I thank you for staying with me. Please hit like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, because as I have these experiences, I'm going to share them with you. Because as I say over and over again, I want to see more people that look like me, looking at people like you, working for the federal government. Super bet. On a soldier, you can bet. Super bet. Like, share, subscribe, please, for Super Bet.